There's a lot of chatter and rumblings out there, Coach. If you got a call or a text in 3 weeks saying, "Hey, it's Tommy, I had a change of heart," would that shock you? Would that surprise you? Would that seem impossible to you right now?
It would shock me, but I'd say, "Come on back, baby, let's go."
You'd find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Come on back, baby. Let's go. All right. That's what Bruce Arians saying to Tom Brady. Jason, you were there with Bruce Arians. We saw you at the Combine. You broke this news at the end of January. Your reaction now as Tom Brady pulls off a bracket buster on Selection Sunday.
Yeah. Look, I, like a lot of people, have heard rumblings and chatter, and we mentioned it to BA there a couple weeks ago that maybe he wasn't as stuck in on this as he thought. And maybe, dedicating myself entirely 24/7, 365 to my family, maybe there's a middle ground somewhere. And honestly, I didn't think this is something that would happen this quickly, if it happened at all. But the situation that was caught on film with him and Cristiano Ronaldo at the Man U match, and when Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the few people on the planet who can look him eye to eye, goat to goat, and ask a pointed question like that, "Are you done? When I saw Brady's reaction to that, I told my wife, I got a feeling, my day might turn. Because for Brady to put that on his own social media, I was like, okay, he's now taking it to another step, because this is in real time. This is someone who he couldn't BS if he wanted to, and he's doing anything but saying I'm done. Again, did I think tonight we would have full clarification? No, but it did lead me to start making some phone calls and start digging. Clearly, he wasn't completely at peace over the last 6 weeks with that decision. He's looking around the rest of the NFC saying, wait a minute, who do we have to beat again to get to the Super Bowl? He's seeing a Bucs team that has been kept intact by and large. And look, they're not going to bring everybody back, but what they've done, to keep Godwin there. Ryan Jensen, after Ali Marpet retired, it became much more of a priority for them to keep center Ryan Jensen. They've made a lot of headway towards that. They've become major players in keeping that top center there. Look, he obviously decided with Giselle that he's got to, there's too much of this in him. He hasn't exhausted the flame just yet. And he feels like this is the best team in the NFC. Why? You're going to tell me we can't get back to a Super Bowl? And once you're there, obviously anything can happen. So what a day to be a Tampa Bay Bucs fan. What a day to be an NFL fan. The league is clearly better for having Tom Brady in it. I hope he still gets to go out on his terms. That's not always guaranteed, and that was part of the mental calculus that led him to step aside in the first place. Is it ever going to be any better than this? I don't want to go out in a hospital room. I don't want to go out on a cart. But that's a team that is as poised as anybody to make noise in the NFC. They have owners who will spend cash over cap, and they're not close to done. They will fill in some holes. Now Gronk all of a sudden probably looks like he might want to come back. They'll find a way to put themselves in position to compete for a Super Bowl.
I'm not surprised sitting here that Tom Brady's coming back. I really not, because I feel like it was an okie doke. Like, hey, people in the media, people within the NFL saying that he was going to retire. And look, you were all over this news. And I asked you in that conversation, do you think he's coming back? And you were determined. You were no questions asked. He's not coming back. But look, we don't know what's inside Tom Brady's head. Look, we're not going to sit here and say, well, we knew exactly what he was thinking. We don't. You and I can't say that when we sit here today on Selection Sunday and he announces that he's coming back out of retirement. But part of me thinks he wanted to control the narrative, that he wanted to be the one out in front of this saying, I'm going to retire. Now he gets out in front of this now saying, hey, I'm coming back. And then when I decide to finally retire, it's going to be me that says it. Do you think that played a role in this decision?
I'm trying to follow all that. I don't know. I don't think that it really has anything to do with that. And I'm not in his head. All I know is, I know people who are very close to him, and they started to see certain signs in him towards the end of the year that convinced them that he was approaching these games like they were the last of his career, and he was making peace with life without football. Now, you spend some time without football, again, you see, wait a minute, Russell Wilson's gone. You start looking at the roster churn. Dallas's team's falling apart. You look at that division. Oh, wait, Sean Payton's not going to be in New Orleans anymore. Now Deshaun Watson might. But so I think it's that. It's what kind of feedback is he getting from friends and family about the decision as time goes on? Does he find himself pining for, man, I need to get out to California and get with Tom House and start doing my kinesiology and my throwing program and all that? I don't think for any athlete there's no way to know how that decision is going to sit with you. For the GOAT, for someone who's had this historic career, who's eluded Father Time in a way that really I don't know that any other athlete ever has to this degree. I just think people change. But no, I don't think this was a grand ploy that, like, I'm going to make a lot of people think I'm going to retire, including the people I work for, and then I'm going to put them through an awkward 6 weeks, including the combine, and then right before they have to make big decisions at the start of the league year, I'm going to say, I was never retired anyway. I don't think he's that conniving. I don't think it was that. But I do think this is uncharted territory for him. And the part of him that felt like he was going to be most at peace with this clearly wasn't.
Biggest upset of the day, Tom Brady heading back to the NFL for a 23rd season, going to be 45 years old in August. Jason, appreciate the perspective and the insight. Always great stuff there from CBS Sports senior NFL insider Jason La Canfora. Again, this is just absolute bonkers. Tom Brady coming back, 3-time MVP, NFL's all-time leader in passing yards, touchdowns, and completions. His 7 Super Bowl titles are more than any team in NFL history. And now he's coming back to try and win an 8th.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.